Thank you, Lascan Corla. I would like to welcome the Down Syndrome Equality of Access Bill 2013, which would give recognition to Down syndrome as a low-incidence disorder. And doing so would ensure that adequate provision is made for resource teaching hours to be allocated to pupils with Down syndrome. I would like to congratulate my colleague, Finane McGrath, for bringing forward this bill, which has brought about much discussion and awareness of the issue. I would also like to acknowledge and welcome the Government has allowed this bill to proceed to committee stage. This bill is vital to ensuring that when recognising this condition as a low-incident disorder, meaning disorders that are automatically qualify for resource teaching hours, that quality educational provision is provided for these children in mainstream schools. As a member of the All-Party Group for Supports in Mainstream School for Children with Down Syndrome, I am committed to this issue. And from speaking to concerned parents in Donegal on a regular basis, I understand the implications of not having Down syndrome recognised as a low-incidence disorder, and the urgent need for children to receive resource teaching hours so that their specific educational needs may be addressed. Currently, for Down syndrome children with mild learning disabilities, special needs teaching comes from set hours each school must share out to all pupils with less severe learning difficulties. This causes many complications, as was noted by the report from the Children's Ombudsman Emily Logan last May, when she criticised the Department's response to previous complaints about the policy. I've been working on this issue for some time and have pressed Minister Quinn and the National Council for Special Education on this issue many times. Time after time I was informed that as highlighted in the NCSE report on supporting children with special education needs in schools, children should be allocated additional resources in line with their level of need, rather than by disability category. This effectively means that Down syndrome should not be recognised as a low-incidence disorder. Instead, the report recommends that under the new resource allocation model proposed by the NCSE in its report, children should be allocated additional resources in line with their level of need, rather than their disability category. In fact, a senior figure from the NCSE contacted me directly only last October and stated, "We would find no evidence to suggest that children with Down syndrome with mild general learning disability should be treated differently to other children with mild general learning disability who also have additional difficulties. Rather, our research strongly suggests that resource allocation should not be linked to the category of disability, but rather should be based on the needs of children." Only in December, the Minister informed me the NCSE had established a working group to develop a proposal for a new tailored allocation model in line with this approach. Then, completely out of the blue, we hear that the Minister and Cabinet have decided to do a complete U-turn, with a spokesperson for the Minister being quoted as saying that we've allowed the bill to go to the Education Committee and are adopting this approach in the context of the work of the National Council for Special Education, and as doing to find a new model of allocating resources to schools in relation to special educational needs. Call me sceptical, but I have to question what motivated this decision and how exactly it suddenly fits right into the work of the NCSE. Don't get me wrong, I welcome the idea of a tailored model based on the needs of children and recognise that all children, including children with Down syndrome, have varying levels of education needs, and that children with Down syndrome need more attention than others. In many ways, I welcome the direction that has been taken in this regard. What I've had problems with is that children who are left in the dark while this new approach has been devised, as it certainly won't happen overnight. That is why I've supported the Down syndrome being recognised as a low-incidence disorder. The Minister says that an exception should not be made for Down syndrome, but it has been made for other disabilities. Down syndrome is more low incidence than autism, for example, while autism is recognised as a low incidence disorder, which is quite nonsensical. Nonetheless, parents across the country with Down syndrome children have been asked to wait and be patient while the new model is being devised, while their children fall further and further behind. I would like to reiterate that I welcome the move to accept this bill, but I would like an honest explanation for the change of heart, because right now it seems like a ploy to keep us all quiet and then the bill becomes forgotten. Or maybe there is more cynical reasons for it. Down Syndrome Ireland, Deputy McGrath, myself and so many others have worked hard on this issue, so I would like to hear what's to happen next, when and how it's to fit in with the new tailored model.